Summer bravo, what you get feel something like a new summer bravo, summer bravo, see me, Christoni, what you mean, what you mean, yes, what you mean, you know. Edam wakuna sama wakani Kofi papi chi Duya bi umire Yano Edam kofi na sama wakani Pasto poku pochisi Ajena sunisu Wawan chochodeti senyantia.
Amazon Fresh have their own grocery stores. They have everyday low prices and even weekly deals.
Wafungwe Nansu radia dumti Wasina dansi Niyo ni wati Koyo mafrangi Koyo iraba Ama makina samanya Wasio jena sunisu wati Ojena sunisu Ojena sunisu Yesu Ajimi Kavri a dream more India no so. Kavri dream more India no so minia. Samira. I say new mwana. Yes, so Chris, oh dear no so. See me munuri Samira I say you mwana Yesu Kristo no oh dear no so see me munuri mini see matuma antagu ini bibia eye mankasa media see me ni bibia wati ini bibia eye mankasa media makuma botni Wakuma fufutu mimumira Yesu misongwati Yesu jekira majiba Yesu mida wasi Una wadi jamuja tami Yesu mida wasi Una tampina jamenya maya risa Yesu mida wasi Uwe saini mida tena mina no emrosu Yesu mida wasi Uwe saini mida tena mina no emrosu Yesu mida wasi Ninja famikra mira Yesu famikra mira Yesu famikra so Jimmy free born passum Jimmy Bankwa dia yesia famikra mira Yesu famikra say wa Jimmy free born passum Jimmy Bankwa dia yesi jamu mara boni na shawinsa Jimmy kuma oh matu Mantani, see Makuma Bonnie, Konwa Kuma, you free me more, your mamma Kuma, you free me more, Papa. See me, Bibia, I am a Casa Media,
Yes, I'm Namingo, and yes, I'm Naminto, Obatampa, near why you soon. Yes, I'm Namingo, and yes, I'm to. I didn't quite sway, near why you so Tina Masumana, Debbie. Oh, yay, Tina Masumana. And yes, he go, and you would Tina Masumu, Minyango boy. Near why Tina Masumuna. We own Yami, Nansu, and Yami Sumu. Ubayoni, Pampas, and Yamayo, young Bongo. Some of my bodies, some of you say, we are beginning to see. Meso, Macumeni, we own Yami, Nansu.
Akuma fufu to me mumira yesu mishawa Makuma boniya Makuma boni Makuma boni Obwa kuma you free me mo So adia kuma you free me mo Some kika kuma you free me mo Papa Makuma boniya Makuma tamtai Makuma boni 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 Etu Mantani Nagu Miti wonka na miswapa Si mati wonka Kabu mati wonka So young one dear sanctuary Mami wonso suniye my brother mu papa Miti wonka na brana mi amba from ira yesu Mati wonka sa ujinkwa Yesu Christ Si mati wonka Kabu mati wonka So young one dear sanctuary Mami wonso suniye my brother mu papa Jimmy, me near be at so Jimmy, oh Jimmy, Missy, Jimmy, Papa, oh Jimmy, me Rayesu, I'm pa Jimmy, I didn't want Yesu. To the idea, you can't use I say, I know, Papa, is so let me so. Jimmy, me, yes, miss me go, poor Jim, my gentleman to oh, Jimmy, what Jimmy, me, yes, I'm pa Jimmy, me, yes. To the idea, you can't use Messia, Papa, Yesufro, let me so. Jimmy, Mira, yes, Miss me go, poor Jim, my gentleman to our shower.
Asetina mudabina sumge ukomba machichi bebire. Asetina mudabina sumge ukomba machichi bebire. Anka miyo kamafu, ensumaya mizanka bibi. Anka miyo kamafu, ensumaya na mizanka bida. Afena me unuze, muye wune nyangwe nyamia. Enchama fawa simya, mami unuweni unyami. Menya mafawa simya. You when you yam Yesu. Asetina mudadina zikai ukomba machichi bebire. Asetina mudadina sumge ukomba machichi bebire. Anka miyo kamafo, ensumaya mizanke biyo. Mire miyo kamafo, ensumaya na mizanke bida. Afena me unuse, uye une yankwe miya. Echama fawa simya, mamiunu weni unyami. Menya mafawa simyi, mamiunu weni unyami Yesu.
This week is your chance to try any Subway footlong for free, like the Subway series menu. Just buy it.
Na minim Yesu, na minim tina mi bo me brazano. Na minim Yesu, na minim me bokwa siampa bra papa. Opia na mi papa, na minim ho twini bode saniso. Opia na mi yankwa, na minim ho twini twiniso. Opia na mi adwuma, na minim ho tumadam fubiso. So afidie ma unse, uya na yankwa nyame. Enti mafa wasemi mami unweni munyam ene mati wasemi ene maso wasemi ene ma wasemi ene mafa wasemi ene mati wasemi mami unweni munyam Yesu Jimmy Yami kama Matias.
Yo, yampa heaven yebeko hobi asida enka ye nyankopon no ewo ne waya maye enwumre yin so yasen ye die ehia mu Dr. Philip Ofori-Yentumi asan beka ye ho ama ye nyina ye san betoa adesua ne so em se enne ne china die die em se no na ye ntie hwe kra sa enne ne china die topics ne dey se yetimi tie ni pa because I don't know a bit my boy am who we are any baby I free ever. Na me gidi yes and so be boa ama awalefo so matima hu ye pa. Was it personality disorders and no na ye. Na me dey betu ne in part 1 part 2 ana doctor me boa send one no. Ti ye be call no part 1 part 2 personality disorders. Ye we this ano ye fabric no watching about ho sima enum mama ye mompae na ye mfa do kenche nyamisa ade nyina so tumfo ye da wase e woni wa ya ma ye nwumre nso mama akwanya se ye ntoa adesua yesua na otwe mu wonam wakoa so adom no so nyansa ne ntiase ama sabre wodi anim e wo mental health mu a yesu ni assurance bra na beka ye ho fo akoa mu na kasa kire na nsema efi adesua mu epie bia no enya ade ebeboa ye mfie mu ene yankasa yasetre mu na boyen ema yetimi alene towards you de biara da we yasetre mu na boyen am yetimi asiesi ye ho so ama o maye tosomienu sanche na usani abetu yense yesene fata sabre ewiasa na nyina ni padodo na etie sa adesua yi boyen na entimi sakra okra ba akubi na adwemboni bi aba ne tirima na niam bi ekoso na adwene mu ntinka ohunu ne oye no ntimi enma adwensatra ene nsesaye emma nipa asetre mu ye nyina timi atra wona na se kosi se obesane wajenkwapa Yesu Kristo dim amen
amen
yo doc ejachima
yo brapani me da se yeda omonso a ehwe enwum no ase selection nyina no is on point. It's been on point since last year. That's all for my guy. Who watch a born no the tone and now market. I watch.
Oye guy pa
Who else? So my guy pa.
Me kwasirayo.
Was it? Who do watch them say? I watch it tone and now we'll do the. You do a younger side boutique there. You okay, yeah, you're quite this year, so you're quite this year. But also for having a mission for your ministry, on board, let me a year more. Said yeah, Brian Elijah, the kaka, no, yeah, personality disorders once. Now, this one, I am a tiresome friend of me too, men so. Because these personalities, you know, you find yourself, and also be our name to be, it will move, baby, right? And I think very first day, you know, you about traits and conditions, and also disorders, traits versus disorders. And you know, and then you share the disorders. But what you may end up seeing is some people may have the traits and not necessarily the disorder. It is also important that we know these symptoms, you know. Say, should one have the traits now, we'll be able to tell, say, okay, this person has a trait of X disorder, right? Until obi say yehu a na yede ayede. Nneoma mienu ana miensa. One, say uhu a emma the way you see the individual becomes different. What I mean is, say bia uhu say, oh, akwedo ye ni no, it's as a result of his borderline personality. Into the money actors are and my dear may no, the impact it has on you no less. And the way you receive and respond to me no so different. Or into anyway I did about here. The toss to me no and my who so said your mechanic down mental health is not a death sentence. Said say oh be and just said what did them be a ultimate function. And as we go through these disorders, you realize they say there are so many people that you know with either the traits or the condition, yet functions very well in the society. And my main fan come home say unima, you can use it to your advantage. What's what I say? Say unima, you can, and you even really know the traits of it now. You can even use it to your advantage. And you know, me sure say yeah, the use of papa and the men, but where you can use it and optimize the benefits, I'll bet many women. Yes, you can do that. And in the year, share what I mean by personality disorders or conditions. And to say, personality, for the sake of addition, you know, who say you are subain and you want nipabain. So in this case, you know, I'm referring to nipabain, the personality, the bosu. And you know, the personality, the total emotional, cognitive, into what think, said the OCJ will behavior, which is usubain. You need now the timidity kaboom, and they describe it a person. And the says so because describe Elijah, right? There are certain new maybe one who are about the forefront. And the say about Fresh Nova. Na meka say oh Elijah te sen a me bu se nipa numa at least me asade nioma mo beka ni nyina no very similar, right? And as I say 5 ni nyina krapo betima ka be very similar, but e be to be slight variation. Until the doors who no becomes the total sum of Elijah. It make us know the way Elijah is who nioma ye beka ho asem the way he behaving or he responding, right? And then the way nothing casite. Until that makes him who he is. And you know that is his personality. Nipa bino no. And the way you see me also relate the way I see who your matching your mass. And the way I react to your environment. And then your social concept no forms part of our personality. Nipa bino. And I said, it says, the personality disorders never hold them now. Only will be and will react a bit differently. And that is the second line of how we relate and react to our environment. And to be on my year business or who baby or feedback when you humo bromano, dancer will be funo. Into ma one tears here. Any the way we process it, any the way on anybody interacting, you know, very different. One tear says, or yeah, and I know both knows what's also then back and forth every day, right? Then personality no ankasano. Yeah, can't wait that and Pastor the phrase near the nature versus nature, right? It is I see between me and my pastor. The nature versus nature. And you know, personality is something that is very dynamic but deeply ingrained because a shall say fee ya wusu yentity ya de maye the way sitting it to the correct and the little part of our neck and also ebeka right into the nina no efi hono and no na obi so busa say I think say Auntie Susanna the busa ye ana pastor no say you maybe hono na say this is who I am, or I found out say okay, me also be business and yeah. A crime ben na me from so. And I also said they say we learn, we unlearn, and we relearn. And if I know so come we learn unlearn and relearn. It is said that yes, yeah, sir, attributes ni no. A personality. We can also unlearn some of it and then relearn newer ones, which will be better for us, right? Into the sir and no, okay. Into your personalities now, ye will move a hodo emiensa. The kan obi a oye egocentric. Nti obi a oye egocentric no obi a oye comfortable with their behavior, right? Obi a comfortable with their behavior. Nti no, their behavior is also consistent with their personality. Ni suban ene ni nipa ban ni nyina no ekope. Ana the way almost sit no, as I said, they are comfortable with it. Therefore, it causes little concern to them. Into the same mete and hame and family home. Anna, the other person also know, who say or how be at the man and answer for. And those individuals also a yet thing, some basic treatment. Why? Because they don't see it to be a problem. Anna, you are the ego dystonic, those people are uncomfortable with their behavior. But who say namete, men pendesa, esa ne sent, it is much easier. Say mesiki for emwa, right? And we have the maladaptive one. So they affect behavioral, cognitive, and social traits. No ever together. So these are, in summary, the type of personalities are. So now, last, me also said there are about 15 personality disorders. For the sake of addition, Yentumi we crampo in 3 days. And he said here, Brother Elijah Kaya no part 1 and 2, which means 2 days. Into the I me be film na me kondesi bi so na yetimi aye ne nanu. Enye sa dia na ekeka kon nansa ekon na 9. Se be betima aye ne nanu nti no, it's been condensed. But mumma share in totality, how it presents, saying and a city. So your cluster A, cluster B, and a cluster C. So the people who are under cluster A, their behaviors, the very characteristics of their behaviors, odd, unusual, right? And eccentric and asocial. You realize they said your moye they need the social norm no entire conform. And it is very easy for you to spot them. Say, hey, wait there, or paranoia, wait there as or schizoid, and also say schizotypical, and also say delusional, right? It is very easy for you to spot them. So schizoid and schizotypical, and then not a different from schizophrenia. And only a different. That is an illness on its own. It's not part of the personality disorders, but these are a bit different. But then it presents very similarly. Then we come to the cluster B. Only are dramatic in their presentation. And they are also unstable with their emotions. Dramatic in their presentation, unstable with their emotions. Like when we talk about individually, you see that running through. It's a bit the way antisocial personality disorder, borderline, histrionic, narcissistic, among others. Then you have cluster C, right? Cluster C. Into also their presentation, it comes with anxiety. So it's more anxiety related. These are how you remember them. The A, they are odd and asocial. B, dramatic and unstable with their emotions. And then C, they are more anxious with their presentations. Avoidant personality disorder, dependent personality disorder, and Uncle Fred, obsessive compulsive disorder. Right? Bubusa questions that who's a medini in a gumitrim. Anything I would do busa and we try to make so that we can connect it. I like that connectivity with presentation. Say it can be more personal to you. Okay. Now, so starting here cluster A for the paranoid delusional schizoid for. So this one comes with the logs, standard suspiciousness, and mistrust of persons in general. Because they have that fake false belief, they have the fear of someone being after them, someone trying to do something to them, and sometimes hear voices, see things, and omo tembia no onji obi ndi. Tembia no eye ne say obi epeso ye ne bone, right? And when obi say ewo ho no ma, say obedi omo gidie no emu ode. Tembia na ye ne say bi ono ye beifo bi a o ye no. Tembia na ye ne say ni nneoma bi enko ye no efi wunti. And this in the general population, you can only between 2 to 4%. And I say only because in perspective, right? So you say 100%, now move 5%, now a tie was a area, then was a lower. And I'm not saying only to say and yet Arabia, say you pay attention to. But you realize that when we talk about mental health now, just this 2 to 4%, so I'm baby yadreno echo also. And that is part of why I use the only, and I'm stressing and repeating for emphasis. So the point I'm trying to make is say, yo yarewa ahodo bebre wo ho no. Ani nyina ka yadwen apobode ho nsem. And so one are falling between 2 to 4%, let's stretch it 5% in the crampo no, is the ones that we talk about most because of their presentation and how it affects others and all that. Okay, so I mentioned about those ones that do not typically seek help, and this is them, right? And I said this group, it happens more. I think say Indra very like you said a question about suicidal. I think you know an answer there, and the gender. We say so it happen more in a member than in ma, and it's also higher among minority group, immigrants, and deaf, like a more maswesi. Until last, Brad Dan Eckers, and also making comments. I think it was more of a comment about data collection in our community. So if you look at the data research and all that now, it also says it's among more higher in the minority group and immigrants. So you should you fall between the two, right? So it is very important that we also collect data in our community to see, say, okay, the general information is saying is more predominant in this group. But when it comes to Ghanaians, and I said Ghanaian Adventists, where do we fall, right? So that at least we can have more data peculiar to us. Okay, but at least this is the information out there, which is valid information, though. I'm not saying, no, it's valid information. And here's some of the symptoms. So, in terms of symptoms, no, these individuals read unrealistic meanings into small things. Big kid to a beer, no, a fan of World Cup, right? Now, I say, okay, asem simple. I am not that I say, we say, tia. Or do it mean tia. That after do or day, if but when, any what, no, she no a year, no man, into the nothing was starting reading meanings into the okay. And they are preoccupied with unjustified doubts. As a work and a meaning naso. A son is saying soon to about my uncle Faber day because then be an unjo bindi. Say about the so say or worry and I say they are intimate with someone. They always think it's say own percono age, so and I said they always have some doubts about that individual, right? They always have some suspicion, but it doesn't have basis. Only in Asobia and so they be no obo kutia. They be any kutia. The other one. Penfo Mumwame. Obo the was it? Or accuse you. Kwedu, thank you. Tebiano no bo kwedu, but only in Aso, right? And the thing said, who sisino, who really sika, or fanadia, or peso prano. Okay? And they always also persistently or no be accept because of their formation. And they react very quickly and angrily. Or reacted to be BSC as an impositivity near very high and a bufosu taichi. Anna said the Beka earlier no Tebiano didn't say obi HET on them. And with this one, it sometimes, or if not in most cases, it comes with people with bipolar sometimes, not most of the time, depression, and most of the time with schizophrenia, right? So sometimes with depression, not most of the time, sorry, sometimes with bipolar, not most of the time with depression, and most of the time with people with schizophrenia. Okay, so that is the cluster A for no. And you know, it is very important that you set limits with them. And that set limits, you know, obeting in pain throughout this day because we're talking about personalities. Let me tell you one thing. People will try as much as possible to see what they can get away with. And once they realize what they can get away with, you know, they'll keep pushing it. And you know, when they obi ewo honum na say wutimi say the oye no or press a button ahwe or reaction mani hu your true reaction. Okay? And yes oh enye hwe abre how. Say how mani hu say how. There be way yenye ni say. Okay. And I be very honest and straightforward. And yes sebe eye wo say or yari nadwimunti and also so all these symptoms into no opese what defe no and also say what dada no and also say utran and trobi na oya comfortable. Why? Say utran and tron thinking say opese me ye okay with the answer you're giving me. Na eche me who say oh boy, remember I already have doubts about you. I mean you needed that. So that really confirms it. Then it becomes a whole different issue. And then when you also say, sometimes when I see people arguing, I just look at them, I'm like, what is the basis? That's what party say. So most of the time we'll come now. You know, you don't argue too much. Stay to the facts, present your case, move on. Menka say brushing it off, and as said, you can know here, there be, but no, say, it's say, you are very what concretize it what ideologies are all about the oka. Into yes, I made umuno and the best is somewhat. Into what is the point? Let me just state the facts and move on. What kind of objective now me kind of? So who wenum na? What does it do with relationships? These are some of the advantages. It's also said they are paranoid, didn't you know? So if you are paranoid about food, so be poison and all that. It is very advised to say ubebie aduane nen eso ewo nanim. And you know, if possible, have it sealed, and sealed containers, canned food, stuff like that. That what BS one and that's what the more no as it is no the proper BSO. Sebeya it will reduce that doubt. You know. Involve them in their finances because of Philisse Obi Buno. I would say we are into no that open so tragedy. And to involve them so that they can have that trust. And psychotherapy by a professional. Last we talked about therapy by other relations, but when they say this is one of those that you have to elevate to a professional. Not with me, Abua. But with this condition, medication works more than therapy. Right? Medication works more than therapy because most of what is going on, the chemical imbalances, neural imbalances, and all of that, and then manicosa, and therapy alone usually does not work. Medication works more. So here call cluster B no eso. See cluster B no you ever share antisocial personality disorder. First part of semete antisocial and I say antisocial now. I always think of obia on penipemu, obia tebia no akone ho. But then when it comes to psychiatry, right? There's a difference between psychology and psychiatry. So, but when it comes to psychiatry now, we're looking at a disorder, which is someone who do not conform to social norms, and that is where the antisocial comes from, the social norms. And in emra, and then shaya, yenina to my idea, Jumano, or no buso, and it's on purpose. Repeatedly, no, they have grounds for arrest. They are very deceitful. Nada and intro, so deceitful and liars, and they also use alias and I say AKA for profit or pleasure. Example, the very classic example of a which by then I did not know, say, this is what it was. Chama na yesha na nebra ba could be why sorry for the purposes of a yibin body and member sorry cause with but no way sorry. It is a real case. Any system in Russia that can no say mekone any system a real case. Where the real case. Ba ko kontu mekone. Na this bra na owo honom days of staff before na 18 muntie mesa. Mario Assembly and he got into trouble and issues with the church. And a few honor and a call body ase. Or call honor no course a sign a din no use. And the alias na say AK na American. It is not necessarily say or Sesani D like change of name official. I remember example. Many about Mabel. Nidin A Mabel a J, right? When she uses that, it is true, it is correct. Also, you use a fear echan, which is also true, which is also correct. And Ghana for yo baby almost will be our visa. Which me to dimbe for Edenante, we are still correct. But then if I have said they didn't waste any didn't name me. This is what I go by. Then Oko body I say no. And Oko you sue the different one no. And I know the number one. Then the anya ye say one of my very good friends, Nancy Crampo Chroma say Pastor Day. Meaning and they knew the same church. Although the addressed pastor or body I say. And Tibra you call hon was I call ye money be sa now yes so very worry be. Anna a bump for any. See Daniel Shark was this guy looks so much like Bray. Of course, that time we were a bit younger, but I'm more bored. So I knew more. The other Daniel friend may say, oh, yeah, bro, we say na. It says, I don't so yeah, and I'm a body D. I will say, okay, then it's him. So that is a very classic case of someone with antisocial personality with that characteristics now, or they are swapping. And through studies, people share me who said, I was like, oh wow, we dealt with a lot of people with this kind of personality. And message or another one when we get to another disorder, right? Okay, so that is someone like that. And then they are also very impulsive and failure of future planning. And then in the eat and make merry for tomorrow is not promised. Into we didn't or forever. They are very reckless and disregard the welfare of others. Or ye be and they are very consistently irresponsible. And they often do things to impress the opposite sex. Into so your bar obey to impress a member or a bem obey to impress a man. And a doman seems so many so because deceitful liars trying to impress the opposite sex what for? A doman say yeah, right? See, that is what it comes down to. And to see a thing you maybe see as here. Your chat board meetings need to send a madam for kind of simple. A subphone came. So that subphone came meetings be rebelling in Hano. I can be a super kakra and we'll be able to really offer the help that these individuals need. Now, I'm quite certain Biano that a subphone came now. I see a kakra. Okay, so that is that. They also typically are involved in relationship abuse and spousal abuse, because they don't regard the welfare of others. Okay. Now, next one. Verbal intelligence, they're very good. Now, no sweat there. Or nada for. Intino, esa said, na no who are there, intino, ultimately define your mahu. I don't know, they be corny wa na odienya di ope. So typically, this is a bad example, but let me give it and then I will give you a good one. The bad example is that so we as scammers they are very good, right? So bad is what that they will be a GDB very easily, or it comes to him naturally. Mokai Akablazer. So Mokai, it's an incident that happened, I think, in the 70s or so in UK, where senior fraudster or fraud, like the state and all that. For those of you who are familiar with the story, if you're not familiar, look him up. Akablazer. Oh, he's He's a serious
Ode-
top-notch.
Aka blame Mieza.
Akablemieza. Yes, thank you. Thank you very much, Pastor. Akablemieza. Thank you. So look it up. Bosedi look it up. It's a very interesting case to study. So that is the kind of person, right? So that is when it was used wrongly. But then talking about personalities and when you can use it rightly. Obi say no say, oh yeah, salesperson, their books will always be good because also no na obey media you know. And these individuals also lack remorse and indifference to the feeling of others. Okay, so let's look at some of the risk factors and then we'll look at other one. First is so it is more common also in men than women. Boys with this disorder though usually no if right? And then the chassis also the chassis puberty no bare 15 years for boys and I say 13 years for girls and then 15 for boys. And they are more common with drug use. And then they are also more common with people with first degree relative or muwobi. Nti sebia obusheni bi a ben no obi a omonso no tenya. And this is very different from the case of say a criminal act. This is more of a mental health issue. Okay. Now, you share the next one. Then ABI University and questions. The next one here, borderline personality disorder. So these individuals know they do anything and everything possible to avoid either real or imagined abandonment. Eye me say ubeja me ho, and also say I'm pastor oba beja me ho. Once obey to seek the attention, and also say they will stop you from doing what you have to do. And to be say within our relationship more answer we just on the okay, yeah, to also then we'll come back to some of the examples. They also have patterns of unstable relationships. People say no if you waste him because they always want to feel loved, they always want to feel belonged, they always want someone to show them that affection and emotions, right? And you know, Emma Tembiano said, well, Nyawaha, Obijaya, if you hold on, not the Kwaha say, it is was so no Binya Sempe, then they jump on to the next one, right? And this group, you know, so they have identity disturbances, almost self-esteem, very flat, very low, right? And identity in terms of even gender, and so becomes an issue for them because of their traits, you know. Okay. Then they are very also impulsive. And there was one American near issue at the American said self-harming behaviors, you know, they are higher near about suicide. So they tend to self-harm more, but not necessarily attempt suicide more. And you know, self-harming behaviors, you know, higher. And sometimes, not all the time, sometimes they do it to seek the attention. As I mentioned earlier, no, who said that affection no onye bio emotionally who detach from or no who person ojana, then obey ye bibi, including self-harming, so that he can get the attention. People also that they self-harm because when a banesana, the body releases a chemical which gives them that rush, you know, right? And you know, it gives them that high feeling, that rush, that often, you know, then it makes them quote unquote feel good, right? And yeah, maybe feel good, maybe this is the bad one. And you know, that is why they also do that. And you know, so you be a na say whether near camera during summer and all. Next time you share trousers, next time or share long sleeves, then you might want to watch out because maybe I need to market there. So I'm not saying that time you'll be share long sleeves are no old self harming, but it is part of it, right? And recurrent suicidal behaviors and ideations. The chronic, most of the time, no, they feel empty. As a medium, so papa and will be unknown because they're not getting the affection. They also bani so mu bufua sebi omo nwi ho pi ansa no ma act, and that is what leads to the self-harming. And sometimes they have paranoia and delusions. right? And sometimes also comes with psychosis, which is the hearing of voices, seeing of things, and all those cluster A behaviors. Now, you can't accept them. They cannot stand being lonely, and so tembiano omo person obi show them the emotional affection, right? And they see people to be either all good or all bad. And see, hey, Brad Freddy de in the papa papa because the onya Brad Freddy unti Brad Freddy actually no kakra bi pe Brad Freddy ne su nipa boni de bi mba da. Yeah, ya no so say esan say no ye wa down for unti or can na man for edi. But we don't know say only perform no one a problem or denam. Now video say Brad Fred. Now also no why GD. Now also denam. So we have to be careful. So uncle for so no omo tight tete in nam for fontem and as a do fontem. They will clash heads very easily. Into a bebu bi a obi and I say yonko bi a o muntema o obi a tembia no na or say muntem because of personal love and affection no into no best say obi am ono nenya they will do it. And here some forms of treatment now for the infants in energy questions or change yamboa you better cluster B no so na area yasha cluster C no so as an area. So in terms of treatment, we have to first of all protect the individual and others, mostly the individual in this case, from self-harm, right? Because they have that self-harming behaviors, And now we also have to set limits with them. Once again, it repeats. We have to set limits with them. So one day can be there, it has to be straightforward. Men leaving room for ambiguity. If but when beer any and a besia 3 o'clock, our McDonald's now a Wall Street we back near the sea. And yeah, and there will be a better besia, yesha what am I from? And to him, yesha 3, what catch and say, like they will always fill in the blanks for you. So give a complete direction, and it has to be very succinct, like short to the point. And are very difficult to treat this particular disorder. It's very, very difficult to treat because they benefit from who they are, right? And omunya enfaso ewoso, they get the attention they need from people. One MP. Relapse rate is very high. Omuba impatient, crumple now, we treat them, they go very soon, they come back. They need increased supervision during the acute. Sebana will be a borderline, let's say, or especially they're going through emotional detachment and that's any form of detachment now. That is when usually, self-harming behavior kicks in. And around that time, they need like increased supervision. And also be work on them. Now it's me do any show, making sure say they are safe and not harming themselves. In some cases, it's very prudent to say Ubedi and Pakrobeko Hospital, where it is more controlled and can be restrained legally and all that. Now, on Pakrobeko is safe. And be mindful not to feed into the behavior, right? And one may ask, say, how do I not feed into the behavior? And memon Pakron feel okay onto us. Yet I am also setting limits and also giving them the attention enough to where they don't hurt themselves. It's a very hard balance. And how I will answer, they say, let's do what is right by both you and the other person. Okay? So if this is your behavior, next week, I'll have to start preparing you. Next week, may call for this amount of time. Whatever support you need, I will start providing. But not to where it has to be say, me if you be now, then you have to act up. Right? Now I'm me feel bad. They say, yeah, me kweja hono menya men sign, Debbie, men sign, me call. But then there be a maybe out here, I'll put in place. And it's not to say I'm going to find you another quote unquote setter, right? But then what it is you have to prepare yourself to where you be independent for the time I'm gone until I come back. So should it be a breakup? Yes, you have to prepare the emotions of the individual, prepare them psychologically, and then do it safely. Okay. they have to be cognizant of the feelings of others, improvement on interpersonal skills, so to more for comfort, avoiding confrontation when necessary, and teach them how to control their emotions, right? Ni nyinaa no ɛyɛ natenka no. So that is all that you have to be working on. And also to tolerate distress and rejection. And those are the examples I just gave about so to and as a breakup. And some of them also have like different symptoms. So mostly, symptom only per corner present, and I will manage. Medications are good, especially in acute phases. But then for this one, remember, first one, because I say, I don't know, medication is very, very important than therapy. In this case, therapy also outweighs medication, but in some cases, medications are also very important. Nti mu mmiɛmfa nsi ase na ɔkyerɛ nyambo ya start with narcissistic na yɛwie no a na afei de enter into cluster C which includes obsessive compulsive disorder, right? Nti mede bɛsi ha sɛ nɛ sɛ obi wɔ asɛmbisa bi a ɔde aba na sima dunum na aka no yɛatra ayi ano. Yes, Uncle Fred.
Quick question. Senior, your presentation here the other and being also talking to a lot of Ghanaians near the community. When do you plan to do a research on some of these traits here? Okay, like I said, among the Ghanaians, we don't have enough. What's the word I want to use? We don't have enough data and all of that. Are you planning to do something like that as well? At least within the Adventist community.
Right. Yes, I am planning. Right now, I'm preparing the minds of people. Anything I said, maybe I'm very I said me bought a hot so kakra. So preparing the minds, then at the right time, or not after the day, information about not the collection nine day. I've tried before. Response nine. Anything I'm gonna hold you off now. This is the I said, yes. Right, Pacho Bibio. I'm very Pacho.
The Uncle Friday kind of be to us say it seems Sanya may wo trace mental health near me and only idea Ghana for you moon a high empower. But na yenimu fiansa ni ebani nti no so aha no we na wo be maso pena akwa school for na na die obi ehunu se sa ne mane mo ya ka no no krepa because of some of you because some mental health ne mane mo na start any other people be ne we are no ya ti bi asofo no mu ye koshia no mo kan akwa we wo be ya you mami mo mfre no ne me nam so na mami ho first time am frɛ wo so na me ejiri sese na Uncle Fred can idea so wunya solid data pa de to ho e de ma ye Ghana for na ye hunu se yenim se sa ne na mo kan ye true among us na unim se ne ye city kire ya no kre de e abrofo ne ma ya na mu re fi se ye nso ye betena kromu ha no some of 20 years ne wo betena maybe 5 years wunya honi na wo ye de ani ya na still ya divide ya ho say ya gine ya say ya hanema ba ya ti habi enti no say na o kan say munya ya solid ya ne de mayem pa na ne o gina ba bi na dwam na wodi among Ghanaians no me ye mu research ba ye ayi pa e bi kura nyame ncha de ne book kura pie firi mu aba e bobo ayem pa da wase
me pacho asa me dase Uncle Fred so me dase yes work on it. I think say Elijah one so.
Me question bo na me name. Oh, so personality disorders ya yake. Any temperaments will track na.
Obi obisa question pe me boa.
Na se ni track any na personalities we ye mienu ya ne ya ka ho asemi. Ebu o ma ye compatible na say ebu o ma ye compatible.
Okay. Any temperament tracker. And you realize it's a temperament in it will go well with some of these personalities, right? that is the relationship between the two. And we can say psychology, a bit different from psychiatry, So psychology is looking more at how the brain works and how through therapy, which is more of talk, you can realign certain things. Psychiatry is looking more at the disorders and how medications can help correct, and therapy, right? But more so psychiatry, the main thing is medication. And the temperament, it will track out with the disorders. But the the most important thing is how do we manage it?
Okay, so that's
Sure.
No, Mr. O, temperaments, so say temperaments, say the negative trend, be negative, be a neat temperament in minimum, dear would you never may who say a papa be a service will be a sanguine. Baby, your back will be a just a life. Baby, obesi bia na hono aye kama atoro bia ya se toro bia o nsusu nkasa o timi ko kasa na amano enya asema na bibi etisa ade enti me hwe eno ne personality disorders na me hunu me timi marino se anyway no hawa se na wusi kire mu no manti ase papa.
Okay. And the infant of it to say somewhere, right? To say okay, we do baby the life of the party.
Yes.
Okay. If you look at someone with a trait of antisocial, who has that idea of attracting people to themselves? Now know what they. Very like interesting, can work on the emotions of people, very smart. One of them are used to smart and very smart and all that. So that is where it aligns. What was it?
Oh, okay. Okay, right.
And then you do avoid that personality. It may be because like there will be that relationship between that and avoidance and not defend it.
Okay.
All right. Any other question? Either say that you know I hate to be able to be a dream idea. And I say I say be a new baby. Either way, mommy.
Yeah.
Friend,
Now, okay, can say I believe that everybody is asking us, am I this? Okay, what can be able to do? Oh, every day, because we made it, I don't do this. And I'm sitting here asking myself, so by the time I be the whole entire trait now, I believe that Obia Bekase or Wahakakra, maybe Wahakakra, Ubi Wakakra, and then it will come across as you need baby. It's all because nothing has been we've not gone through the process of I don't want to use the word diagnose, but you go through the process of trying to categorize maybe what kind of person we are. And I'm trying to find out, so are we going to be certain, say, this straight, and I said, you're going to leave us in the middle, which is nowhere.
So my goal is for you to understand each one, see the implications. What before if you choose. Maybe I don't know so that you see how to manage it. That is the most important part, right? And if I mean we obia and share in a category, but I say you be who the wohodo. You who the way obia the city. You know how it affects relationships. And the question was say the first. I guess that's fair.
Question.
Adobe,
question.
me dear, okay, and not making junior maybe who I'm fat. Now my confused. Just say, Usha, a bio, ABS, a BB and fat, we be crowd, a solid be move for. One way, yeah, the barber catch no, as soon as see or you say, and so just say, also better who no Christian say, a beer, yes, say, and I say, I see. And so, but so opening the panoa. When we say, then the power and yes, when ye just a BBI and so near the kind day, I say no. Obi cross said ye be see a no. And so not BBN wa at the sa, so Benenwa. It made you animal who's in fat and ye problem pa. And ye was a to me a yagini and this your problem. Because I near man me tati be pa, but you mukra not as a antisacra. And so now ye say ni pano near ye say, refuse a hagane, the mummy and ye.
Yo, that's it. There be because of being ya question was answer ye any day. I know ye we been tea. Anna, oh, what you expect is different from what I expect. Into a yama in just on your mammy. Let us not inherit the enemies of others. And Saturday, yam make no hassle. All right, yanko K Anna Eben. I'm almost also. Meaning the about first.
But you make the key.
Okay.
But your question is what kind behavior no na mesre sa I didn't know na mesre. The entire mesre ne say when you sure say Africa yenya sa entity ye intina ye boba ye wo hon. Because near my work can nyina ya dia who we are seeing who say just say maybe a steady free nipa one or de boss have ye no. Me sa nneɛma we are there master dia hu sɛ ɛkɔ so wɔ yɛn do hɔ a because yɛn nyinaa yɛ mogya baako tuntumfoɔ bi na wɔ ha ɛnso sɛdeɛ yɛgyidie tie ne yɛ nneɛma bi tie no mmom nso sɛ ebia na yɛnya saa nteteɛ a wɔkɛ anaa sɛnea hu no
for or more boss, and I said they're able to talk about people and all that in a fan I drink here. I know the Pamucho Mikasa so for moon who your man ye there be that's not what I'm saying. But a good one my show mana and I'm with on them because like I don't want to sound you, but meet many obiashia look at the person and be able to tell you say this person say me say naughty. Me who mad ye. Maybe any addition and a day. One a better. It's most of them I drink and they are nobody can call for. But as you rightly said, Toronto so can India mean man for unity. And we are all victims of it. The other thing also say religion, as Karl Marx said, has been the opium of the masses. In the equality say, okay, obi hu asem a emehu bɔ no na nampe no nti sebe sometimes even ya dwen kropo ya say ya de dwen efa ho no kropo no then just become that you're falling for it most of it in nyina no and then up that line it's it's very important once again we come to the point it's very important to say yebesua na ya church amafo as I've ended yesterday we have to be advocates of mental health na abra ekwechi na manfo ti ase na manfo humu no na afide masa nyoma nyina susu okay uncle Ibe
yo ya doctor that's very and let me be say normally so your presentations now say you test bi wo why ya which you mean take we have 50 questions 100 questions maybe to say do you trust others no more series of answers or do you complete tasks successfully? No more set of answers. It is who we are. We say or categorize as to where you belong. Do you need some was set of questions now? If you be able to take it, say test no, because they say very practical. So no be where you belong. Now enquiries will be there. Or imagine so be a take it test now as I hope saying about Buama in application no more since I use I don't know When we agree.
Oh, I don't disagree with you. And yes, I may not agree. But the only reason why in this setting, no, I mean, no, two reasons. One, not setting be say no, man, person made diagnosis on a matter for too many reasons and good reasons from practice and experience. Into settings be say na na me person made diagnosis. And no yeah, the main reason here. There all can also know yeah more of like controlled environment, and as I say be a workshop will be, and that one na psychiatry for na more of behaviors, personalities in terms of psychology and all of that. And yeah, psychiatry for also no test I would do and answer question I would do say be obi ba meet me their man, especially like depression, your PHQ-9 I meet me their mouth. Now I answer, then we know your depression score, your GAD-7 for anxiety. I'll bet me answer there. I know your some of those, right? But then for purposes of your presentations, say in this setting, I am try to miss away from diagnosis.
Yeah, not necessarily diagnosis. First, be on that you share a bro, but Buhana or condition beer, and answer or situation beer. Or name, this why in him, but we don't take any measures to correct. So, in the education, yeah, very, very good. But maybe concern is the question is, and so what? So, visually, and so what?
So it goes to the attempt they are making. I want you to see yourself in it, but I don't want to be like a number. So, and yes, I mean, I make sure where you belong. This is what I mean. So, me more test, no real, now position yourself, baby. Then you're coming back to me, most likely. And I also say, oh, Philip say, what do I say? And as I said, I'm speaking from experience and practice. But there's a the church of say anyway. Let's say what we need as no. Now baby original no whom what we here. I always add the say, let's seek for a professional opinion. So what's your environment, anywhere therapist war, psychiatry war, whatever war, then you go see.
Calling you. Mommy also.
Also a friend I'm here,
Auntie Lucy. It's that is why I na me defend this. But I go be the okano me to was here pa. But was here being tia me jani say. I lose we be this for now until maybe a BB versus one, then we might change it. But for now, no idea. You may say.
Oh, it has to be.
Yeah, so that's it. Right. And Sano Asa. Okay, I go for it.
I also no kind of maybe and also as in the future you plan no. Sometimes when you go take some of these tests and answer surveys not questions no doors too much and one and that's another way I take Ghana for off. You need a for that. Into you trying to get information now we saying we see it as when we cry the baby and cry and the so I'm just giving you to be precise and make it easy for the Ghanaian to understand and go straight to the point and get whatever information you want. I just wanted to add on that.
Okay, back to you, Matty. But that's it.
Yo, I don't know. You're non cornable. Yɛde bɛsi a nyame yɛ adom a ɔkyena a yɛbɛba part 2 no so na yɛabɛtoa so nti megye di yɛ sɛ ɛnɛ deɛ ne yɛanya no yɛnya nsɛm bebree ɔkyena mommra no yɛmbɛwie personality disorders no na Saturday yɛyɛ asɔre wie a na wie a no ɛyɛ kiwe questions and answers ebia weeks ni nyina mu na ye days ni nyina mu no wanti bibi ase anase bibi eba wadwene mu hu nsensem awia no ɛhɔ na ebedi sɛ adwumadie no ti mo ma ye nyina ye nkoso na ye mfrɛfrɛ ye ho na ye nsua adesua ɛte sɛ adesua mu ye dupa eye na megidi sɛ ma ho kwan a awurade ɛbɛka ye ho na waboa ye ti dok nso ye da wase pa sɛ ɔma ho kwan na nyame ɛde wo ye adwuma kɛseɛ ɛwɔ North America ha no na ebia so first no was for eso ewe de sa no so for wo so de ye ni nsa ye mo wahira dwumadie no so amaye na ye de ntiti no
yo abusa fo mo ma ye mompai awradi nyame ya do asipa o afin sha ase de besi na nsɛm a ye tie ne nsɛm a mu duro ebue ye ni pa ma ye hunu nneɛma differently ye da was wonim dia onam don so dia ma ko na otwe mu ene nsɛm a obiebie so de kyerɛ nsɛm ya na wusua wote obi na ase na wutia na de pa but efiri hɔ pa no wadwene ye firi so die nti ho hia ne sɛ ebetumi aboa yɛn ne yɛn nso yebetumi de aboa foforo sɛ yɛte ase a na ɛbɛboa ma nneɛma bebree broni bɛka misconceptions bebree afa nneɛma a yɛsuasua yɛn ho yi yɛtumi ayiyi adwene firi so efisɛ saa nneɛma a na yɛsua yɛn wɔ bi a kyɛ sɛ wontena ase a wanhwɛ a problem wɔyɛ obusuani na woni ni benya da biara enso bi nka wonhunu no wahwɛ ahunu sɛ nipa korɔ no tibi a wɔ mu kyerɛ sɛ wɔyare in a different way a wobɛhu kwan a wobɛfa so a wobɛtumi aboa no yɛnim nti no tɔrɔ bi a na de haw bebree yɛko ayi yɛn ho adeɛ na nso so symptoms no a ehia yɛ mpa sɛ nka yɛbɛfa so ne ehunu kwan a yɛbɛfa so yɛbɛnya yaresa no na yɛgya no na da hɔ saa awurade boa yɛn yɛn nyinaa ehu sɛ ehia paa sɛ yɛbɛnya biribi a ebɛtumi aboa yɛ bra yɛni bue ama nneɛma yi na ma yɛn teke ne nkakra mfiri ha nkɔ ɛnyɛ wei ne the last time a yɛbɛsua saa adesua yi bɛbɔ mmɔden a sɛ da bi yɛbɛnya nimdifoɔ ma wɔn abɛbɛtoa so aboa yɛn na ɛtumi ahwɛ yɛn na yɛn nyinaa yɛtumi aboa fa wɔn nhyira ɛne wadoma ɔbɛnfoɔ Ofori-Yentumi ne adɔfo ahodoɔ a saa adeɛ wei wɔn ho bia mmemme nda kwanhwɛfo asafo yɛ asafo a ɛyɛ superb yɛn ne nsafo a saa nneɛma wɔ yɛfa no serious yɛnim sɛ baabul no wɔ hɔ nanso yɛnim sɛ yɛda so wɔ bɔne sum wiase nyɛ baabul no nko ara na yɛbɛsua ne da biara nneɛma bi sɛ ne boa yɛn ma yɛtumi ehunu kwan a yɛbɛfa so yɛbɛtumi ne yɛn ho atena ti yɛda wase yɛbɛfiri ha akɔ yi yɛde yɛn nkwa nyinaa hyɛ wɔ die ma na dweda suo mu a yɛkɔ da yi ɛne baabi a binom wɔ sɛ adwuma mu ohwɛ obiara so na bɔ ne ho ban adekyea ha fɛfɛ pue yɛn so a yɛde n'ase a yɛyɛ ne nkamfo ma yɛda wase sɛ watie yɛ wɔ yesu kristo din mu nti amen.
Amen.
Oda, so announcement bi wɔ hɔ a wobɛtumi de aba na
ɛdeɛ biribiara ni hɔ nti
yo nyame yɛ adom ɔkyena yɛbɛhyia na ɔtwe pɛpɛɛpɛ ɛne yɛma yɛ ho nyinaa mespa yɛdi ntitimu
yɛdi ntitimu yi yɛho ahwɛ me no ntɛm amen.